welcome to another vlog. Welcome to Moto-R, where we talk about motorcycle topics. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the track, what I bring to the track, what I wear to the track as far as gear. A lot of times when we think about the track, we think how expensive it's gonna be. We think about what the requirements are. So we're gonna go through first what the requirements are for the track, for a track day. We're gonna go through type of equipment that we need to bring, or type of gear that we need to bring. And third of all, we're going to talk about budget. Is it possible to constantly go to the track on a budget? Is it possible to buy gear targeted for the track on a budget? And I want to show you what I use when I go to the track and the type of gear that I bring with me when I go to the track. So stay tuned on the video. We're gonna go through it. So as a newbie to the track, number one question that a lot of people ask is, what are the requirements for the track? I'm gonna explain to you the requirements for the track organization that I go to, which is Ride Smart Motorcycle Track School. And I'll throw the link down below, but from what I understand and from all the other track organizations that I've been privy to attend, is that most of them are kind of the same. When you're talking about novice riders, people beginning on the track, the requirements are really the same. So a lot of people come up to me and ask me, well, I think I need more practice on the street. Well, I think I need more time on the twisties, all of that. And there is a certain requirement for the type of skill that you have on the street. Now, it's a school, so I want to be very clear that you ride within your limits, and then you constantly get better and better with the proper coaching. Understanding the track is important, understanding the race lines is important. So you can't really go on the street to practice what you are going to be coached for on the track, because every track is different, the race lines are different, and you're not going to be pushing yourself as hard on the street as you would be on the track, at least not in a safe way. So for Ride Smart, what they want to see is that as a motorcycle rider, you have at least 5,000 miles under your belt. You have at least 5,000 miles of seat time. They also 5,000 miles, when you think about it, it's real easy to do, right? I mean, you buy your first brand new Grom, or you buy your first brand new beginner riding motorcycle, and 5,000 miles is not that hard to do if you are motivated, if you are determined to get those miles in. It's not really hard to do. You can get it done within a few weeks. Now, another requirement that Ride Smart also requests that you have is at least 6 months of riding time. So even if you have those 5,000 miles, make sure that you have at least 6 months of seat time, 6 months of riding constantly before you make that decision to get the proper coaching or to increase your level of riding on the track. Try to have at least 6 months to a year before you decide to go to a track. You also have to be comfortable with riding at highway speeds or higher. I know a lot of new riders, they don't even want to go on the highway. I know when I was a new rider, driving on the highway, the first time I ever drove on the highway was pretty intense. The wind, the cars passing by you at high speeds can be a little bit intense for a new rider. So make sure that you are comfortable with highway speeds, that you don't have that fear factor of going 70, 75, 80 miles an hour. So with that being said, understanding that you have to have a little bit of experience, that you have to have some miles under your belt, and that you're comfortable riding highway speeds or more, you gotta understand as well that you're able to follow rules. So if you feel like you're gonna go to a track and you're just gonna go all crazy and everything like that, maybe the track's not for you, or the track is not gonna be for you, because they're probably gonna kick you out before you cause any real damage. But etiquette is a big thing on the track. street etiquette, just like we have street etiquette out on the streets. You're gonna have to have track etiquette, and they're gonna teach you that. So if you don't feel like you're gonna be a rule follower, if you don't feel like you're gonna adhere to the rules of the track, then it's probably best that you don't go until you feel like you can. Because first of all, you're just gonna piss off the instructors, you're gonna piss off the other riders that are on the track with you, and you're probably gonna get hurt. All right, so next we're just gonna go into gear. We're gonna start off from the top to the bottom, and we're gonna talk about helmets. Obviously, with helmets on the track, you wanna make sure on a track day, again, we're speaking track days, you wanna have a DOT, an ECE, or a Snell rated helmet. Now, my personal opinion on that, I've used a DOT helmet on the track, but after seeing a few accidents, I decided to move on and get a Snell. And after seeing a few crashes, for me, I just don't want to take that chance. So I always, I have an Arai Snell helmet, Snell certified helmet that I use, and that's just my personal preference. Again, you're not sure you want to be on the track all the time. You're not sure if that's going to be a hobby that you pick up. So if you're just going on your first track day, just understand DOT is fine. You are, with experience, gonna see what happens on the track after several, track days, and you're gonna decide on your own whether you believe that spending the extra money for a Snell helmet is reasonable for you. So also regarding helmets, you can't have aftermarket quick releases on it. I know there's certain brands like Shoei has the GT Air 2 or something like that I used to have that had a different type of quick release helmet, but that is actually made by the company, so it's not going to be considered aftermarket. But there is a lot of aftermarket straps and bands and stuff like that you can put on your helmet. If you do have one of those things are not allowed, so make sure you change it back to the manufacturer's built or manufacturer's stock per se on your helmet if you want to go to the track, whether you have a DOT, an EC, or a Snell helmet. This is my Arai Region X, and as you can see, it's Snell rated. I love it. I also use a Quantum X Arai, and that's just my go-to brand so far. I've seen a lot of people get into accidents on the track with the Arai helmets, and they always seem to come out okay. Now, one of the requirements as well is that you cannot have a GoPro attached to your helmet, even if it's tethered to something solid in the helmet. You cannot have any type of camera, any type of external attachment to your helmet. So if you have those Mohawks, Suzuki riders, if you have those Mohawks on your helmets, they gotta go. The Senna, all that stuff, you gotta pull it out. It's just a lot safer. What you don't want is you don't want it to get into an accident where, GoPro flies out or something like that. Now, there are some tracks that do allow them, but Ride Smart doesn't. Here is my other helmet. It's a Quantum X. As you can see, they got some stickers in here that certify that it's a good helmet. And they were inspected by tech. Basically, almost any helmet would do. Obviously, you have to have it full face. So DOT, if you really think about it, DOT, those half shells that Harley riders wear, they're DOT approved. So the standard for DOT is not that high. Half shell helmets are DOT approved. So part of that requirement is that it has to be a full face. It can't be a modular helmet that pops open from the bottom. It has to be a complete, solid, full face helmet. All right, so we're gonna move on to gloves. This is kind of like my budget gloves. I haven't spent any like big dollar money on gloves yet, but these are Sedici Nicolos, and the requirement for the track is that you have gauntlet style gloves that extend past your wrist. You can see it passes my wrist. It does the job. It's $99. I'll put a little box here with the description, and I don't even know if they sell it anymore. It's been like a year when I bought this when I first started going to the track. So $99 for Sedici Nicola. I'm not completely sure. I'll put it right here, but it's like Nicolo or Nicola gloves. Overall, it works for me. I don't see any reason of spending $300 on gloves just yet. All right, guys, so we're gonna move on to the coolest thing that you're gonna buy for the track when you decide to actually buy it. Now, Ride Smart, the organization, when you first go to your very first track day, not only do you get 20% off or 25% off your first track day, but they also give you a free rental suit and a free rental boot. So you don't have to spend, you know, the $150, $140 that I bought the boots. You don't have to spend the amount of money that I spent for my suit. You could just go, see how you like it, and decide whether or not track days are for you. So track suits can be kind of difficult to really understand because there's so many different kinds. For the track, you either have to have a 2-piece or a 1-piece. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and read from their website. So they do say that you need a 1-piece leather suit or a 2-piece leather suit, okay? Now the 2 pieces can be used, can be zipped together. It has to have more than 50% contact, zipper contact. It says here that 2-piece leather suits must zip together for street bike, novice, intermediate, or advanced groups. So pretty much for a track day, you can use a 2-piece for all of it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this camera so I can kind of show you the suit that I decided to buy. The company isn't a big company. They're starting to get bigger, but when I bought them, they weren't that big. I think they were in a few British, you know, races, World Superbike maybe. But the company that I use is Forest Street Racing, 4SR for short. And this was about $1,100, maybe just a little bit under $1,000. Actually, I think it was just a little bit under $1,000. So it's a 2-piece suit, right? And this is how a 2-piece looks like. So you have this jacket right here, right? It zips down, but right over here in the center, in between, you have another zipper that goes around, and that zips all around here. And it has this nice, you know, so that you don't see the zipper coming around here, but it has this nice 4SR leather padding right here that blocks off the look of the zipper coming around and all the way around your waist. So in essentially, you could treat it like a 1-piece suit. Now, this one is not a, you know, an air, like it doesn't have a airbag. So it's a little bit on the cheaper side, but you throw a back protection or a back guard, and it's pretty much complete. The suit looks amazing, especially on my Z900, because when I started track days, I used my Z900, and that's why I went with this color. But 4SR actually just started working with Moto America, so you have some racers that are sponsored by 4SR on Moto America. That's it right there. I've used this tracksuit every single time I've been to the track since my first time, and it has held up well. All right, so next we're gonna talk about boots. I went with Sedici. These were about, I don't even remember the brand name. I think it's like Chankay or Chance or I'm not even sure, so I'm not gonna say. But there is, I was looking online and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find these exact boots, Sedici track boot. Requirements say that you want a riding boot, right? That's that extends 3 inches above your ankle. But it has to be riding boots. It can't just be like regular boots. So for instance, I got these Under Armour work boots, right? They extend 3 inches above my ankle, but these are not riding boots. So you can't just jump on any boot. There's Under Armour boots. There's other boot companies that make boots that are over 3 inches that people use to ride on their motorcycles, but you can't use that. So let's throw that away. You have to get riding boots. And the reason why I say riding boots is because I mean, there's no, even if it just says that, like, you got to make sure that it is a track boot. Okay, you want it to overextend over your suit. That's why it has this large gap or whatever, you know, when in the end of it, because it's made so that your suit can go into the actual boot. All right, this is supposed to wrap over the pant, the end of your pant of your leather suit. And leather can be stubborn. It can be real stubborn to get in there. It can be real stubborn to tighten up. And the way it feels for me when I put this on, see, and again, see how far it extends, right? Because when you're sticking your leg in here with that leather suit on, it can be pretty tough, right? Because this is the right fitting boot for me. So I can't go any bigger and I can't go any smaller. And if your suit is too loose, it's not gonna work. So this was about $140 again. It works. So I haven't decided to spend more money on it. 140 bucks or less with a discount is what I got this for. And you know, it has pretty much all the protection that you're gonna need. Okay, so to sum it all up, the $99 gloves, the $140, $145 boots, about, let's say the helmet was $700. Let's round it up to $700. I know the Region X might have been a little bit cheaper. So let's say $700, and then this being about $1,000. All of that equals up to about $1,900 to $2,000 in expenses. I think the next video, if you guys want another video on what you have to do to your motorcycle to get it ready and set for the track, let me know in the comments below. I'll put a little video on there. Maybe the next time I go to the track. I think I'm going on October 24th. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. That's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out if you are planning to go on the track day. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Make sure you guys ride safe. Have a good week. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.